This is Lakeville Today with Community Editor Joseph Palmersheim. Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty recently used his executive authority to balance the state budget for fiscal year 2010-2011 by cutting $6.7 billion over the next biennium. The unallotments announced June 16th are to take effect July 1st. Here is how Lakeville and organizations affecting the city fared. Lakeville City Administrator Steve Mielke said that the city would lose nearly 3% of its annual budget due to the loss of market value homestead credit over the next 2 years and possibly further. Pawlenty's plan to reduce state aid by $200 million over the next 2 years means that $67 million would be dropped next year and $133 million in 2011. To compensate, Lakeville adjusted its budget by 6% earlier this year, reducing staff and city services to compensate for the loss. Mielke said that cuts have been effective in balancing the budget, but said that their full effect has yet to be felt. He also said that the Lakeville City Council would have to decide whether it wants to levy for the nearly $630,000 lost to the cuts. He said the overall resident response to Lakeville's budgeting approach has been mostly positive. "We've heard more compliments than anything from people saying that we saw it coming and dealt with it early," he said. Funding for K-12 schools wasn't cut through Pawlenty's unallotments. Instead, the state plans to save $1.7 billion through deferrals and adjustments. Beginning in fiscal year 2010, $1.17 billion in aid payments to schools will be temporarily reduced. School districts will receive 73% of their first-year entitlement that year, and the remaining 27% in the second year. Currently, payments are made in a 90-10 program. While school districts aren't actually losing money, their cash flow could be impacted depending on factors like their current fund reserve. Some may be forced to borrow to maintain positive cash flow, racking up interest payments they otherwise wouldn't have. Mark Klett, the Director of Financial Services for District 194, said his district was evaluating the proposed cuts and said they could only, quote, mean reduced interest income or increased interest expense. "We don't know much without further analysis," he said. "We have to get more information from the Minnesota Department of Education about when the money is going to flow to us, and then we'll be able to do some projections and see how we think it's going to impact us. That will tell us what we have to borrow and how much. We just don't know that yet because we don't have all the information." Woodland Adventure, a new 4,800 square foot playground at Minnesota Zoo in Apple Valley, will open Saturday, July 11th. On Thursday, project manager Kevin Henderson and his staff were adding finishing touches to the Central Plaza feature. The $1 million project has a Minnesota theme with elements like a replica of the North Shore Split Rock Lighthouse. A large treehouse, an eagle's nest, a giant mosquito, bear den and fish riders representing walleye, largemouth bass, and sunfish. Let's take a look.
Woodland Adventures is a park for kids from ages 2 to 12 for them to come and play and jump around on. We have features of a tree house where they can climb through, get up to the top of the house, walk on a suspension bridge, go to a replica of the Split Rock Lighthouse, then come down and play on giant mosquitoes, ride a boat, see an eagle's nest, become a turtle for a day, go to a bear den, see mama bear, little baby bear. There's a lot of activities for them to run and get some outside fun. We open July 11th.
Your Weather Underground forecast for the day calls for sunny skies with highs around 90 degrees. Tonight, 50% chance of showers with lows around 70. This weekend's forecast calls for thunderstorms Saturday with highs around 85, and partly cloudy skies Sunday with highs around 80 degrees.